Now let's learn about some best practices regarding referral meetings. While referral meetings are not required by law in the state of Colorado, Jeffco's special education expectation is that buildings will hold referral meetings whenever a parent/caregiver or staff member requests an evaluation, IEP, or indicates a potential suspected disability, as this is best practice. Several school staff may be present at a referral meeting, depending on what the referral concerns are. The law is not specific on required attendees, but this group will suffice to conduct the meeting in most cases. One of, or the student's general education teacher, should always be present at a referral meeting to be able to speak to the student's classroom functioning across all areas. In addition, a learning specialist should also always be present at the referral meeting, as their expertise is needed to determine whether one of the 13 suspected disabilities may be occurring. They also must be present because academic performance is always a consideration when determining whether there is a suspected disability. A special education mental health provider should be present when the team has concerns with social, emotional, behavioral functioning, executive functioning, or cognitive functioning. Their participation is crucial when the team is considering whether the student is suspected of autism spectrum disorder, serious emotional disabilities, other health impairment, including ADHD, and intellectual disability. They should also be present when the team is unsure what disabilities might be suspected going into the meeting, but there are some social, emotional, behavioral concerns. An occupational therapist, physical therapist, or adaptive PE teacher should be included when considering an orthopedic impairment or if data indicates a potential fine motor, gross motor, or sensory concern. A speech-language pathologist should be included when there are concerns within areas of communications, including expressive or receptive language, articulation, fluency, voice, auditory processing, or pragmatics. They should also be included if the team thinks the student may have a speech-language impairment, autism spectrum disorder, traumatic brain injury, or intellectual disability. Building or special education administrators are not required to attend referral meetings, but they may attend based on circumstances and to support the conversation. Lastly, other specialists may attend based on the referral concerns, including but not limited to the school nurse, vision or teacher of the hearing impaired, or culturally or linguistically diverse educator. If a key team member that is the content expert is unable to attend the referral meeting, the team should not sign consent for that area of concern until that person is able to review data and be a part of the decision to evaluate. In these cases, if the team is able to identify a suspected disability that does not involve the missing provider's area of expertise, they may move forward with the consent for evaluation, and if they determine that other areas should be looked at, a consent for special evaluation for that domain area may be completed. Data discussed at the referral meeting should help the team answer these questions. 1. What is the student's level of educational performance, including strengths/skills and needs, for children 3 to 5 in appropriate activities and daily routines? 2. Does the measurable information demonstrate a suspected disability, and is it potentially adversely affecting the student's education? 3. What are the specific special education instruction and related services, including supplementary aids and services, the student may need to participate, as appropriate, in the general curriculum and improve educational performance for children 3 to 5 in appropriate activities and daily routines? Teams should be careful not to limit the discussion of adverse educational impact to grades and academic performance. A student's significant challenges with communicating with peers and adults, or the impact of their behavior on developing healthy relationships with staff and peers, are other examples of how a suspected disability may be educationally impacting. Several quantitative and qualitative data sources should be considered at the meeting when determining whether an evaluation should occur. 1. Social, emotional, behavioral data. 2. Current state and district assessment results. 3. Screening data. Speech and language, motor, and/or social emotional. 4. For students from a home where a language other than English is spoken, students' level of English language proficiency including state assessment data. 5. Cumulative records. Attendance, report cards, district and state achievement scores over time. 6. Parent and student input. 7. Interventions and supports. Interventions provided, response to intervention data, including this student's response to each intervention attempted. 8. Accommodations and modifications that have been consistently provided. 9. Classroom observations highlighting areas of suspected disability, and/or. 10. Private or independent evaluation data, if available. While the data is being discussed, it should also be documented in the enriched SPED referral, consent for evaluation, if a disability is suspected, and/or the prior written notice refusing to evaluate if a disability is not suspected. The belief that all referral meetings should lead to an evaluation is actually false. The below possible outcomes are all possible. Consensus to continue short-term interventions due to no suspected disability. Consensus that an evaluation is not needed as there is no suspected disability. Reconvene after additional information/data relevant to the concern is collected. Or proceed with special education evaluation due to suspected disabilities. There are several things that a team can do to ensure a referral meeting runs smoothly. 1. Have a conversation with the person making the referral before the referral meeting to ensure all necessary people and data are at the meeting. Screenings in the area of speech and language, motor, and/or social-emotional ideally will occur prior to the referral meeting, with screening consent. 2. Use an agenda that is shared with everyone at the meeting. 3. Start the meeting with introductions and explaining the purpose of the meeting and potential outcomes. 4. Avoid using the live enriched referral meeting and consent for evaluation forms in lieu of an agenda during the meeting, as they can be confusing and steer the team away from the original referral concern. 5. Explicitly indicate at the end of the meeting if a disability is suspected and which ones. The team does not have walk through all 13 disabilities categories, but should center their discussion around the disabilities suspected based on the data presented. 6. Close the loop. Documents should be issued to families soon after a referral meeting, regardless of its outcome. Let's review an example of a parent request for evaluation for a 7th grade student. Parents report Jose has clinical diagnoses of dyslexia, dysgraphia, and ADHD. He also has an advanced learning plan for giftedness in math and general intelligence. Due to the request, the team has a referral meeting and invites the parents along with the following professionals: ELA teacher, social studies teacher, learning specialist, SPED mental health provider, school counselor, and GT teacher. The team pulls math and ELA MAP testing results across the past 3 years. The team also pulls current grades, attendance, and discipline data. Work samples were also gathered, including a writing sample. Jose's parents provided the private report with all documentation of the dyslexia, dysgraphia, and ADHD diagnoses. At the referral meeting, the team discusses the previous data plus the following observations his teachers have made. Jose has been participating in an executive functioning group at school and is often the model for other students. He understands the concepts well in a small group setting. Jose participates well in class but has trouble completing and turning in work. He has several missing assignments. Jose rushes through work. Jose doesn't like to look different from the rest of his peers. Some teachers perceive Jose is not motivated to do well in school. Based on all the data shared, the outcome of the referral meeting was to evaluate for special education eligibility with suspected disabilities of specific learning disabilities, basic reading skills, fluency, writing, and other health impairment due to attention difficulties. While Jose is undergoing special education evaluation, he will participate in small group instruction provided by the special education teacher, providing explicit phonics instruction, and weekly progress monitoring data will be collected, as this data is necessary to determine eligibility for a specific learning disability. Students undergoing special education evaluation can have access to intervention throughout the evaluation, so long as parents provide informed consent. This flowchart outlines the scope of special education from evaluation request to IEP development. This training emphasized the legal requirements and best practices in evaluation requests, referral meeting, and determining whether a disability is suspected and an evaluation must occur. Please review the linked guidance document for more specific information about responding to requests for evaluation. The following resources include tools to help special education teams navigate preparing for and holding special education referral meetings. In closing, while referral meetings are not legally required by law, they are an essential best practice in order to make informed database decision regarding the need for special education evaluation. Thank you for participating in this online training. For further questions, please contact your Assistant Director of Special Education.